viewers, and welcome to episode 7 of GPL 360. I'm here with CEO Matthew Loughnane, and we're going to discuss the preliminary finals of the men and the grand final fixture. Matt, yesterday in the first prelim we had Rat Pack defeat Motley Q by 1 point.
Yep.
We did call Rat Pack to win. Not a bad effort considering they only had 5 players.
I didn't realise they were only going to have 5 players, so that may have altered the tip, but to get over the line, that's an amazing effort.
Now, Don Gross led the way with 34, Jim Pitt 33, David Brigger 32, and Graham Craig 32. Matt, you'll remember last week we may have put a fair bit of acid on Peter Gebbett to perform, considering he's been away for 6 months, I think it was.
Don't see his name.
Anyway. No, it's the best 4. They only had 5, and he found himself in 5th place there. So Peter, next week, really want a good performance.
Yep.
Andrew Williams from Motley Q led the way with 35, Roger Palazzo 33, and Vince Piccolo 33. But well done to the Rat Pack.
Right. Preliminary final 2, we had the Guzzlers versus the Cinderella team, the Moondogs. The Guzzlers, possibly to most people's, I've probably discussed.
Yeah,
I've got through 125 to the Moondogs 118. We had the Moondogs, Rob Jackson, best scorer with 34, Ray Kennedy 31, Terry Ward 28, and Kent Robinson and Chris Hansen with 25. For the Guzzlers, Mark Hanger, top scorer with 35, Chris Warren 30, Terry Poulton 30, and Sam Canellan with 30. The person that we put under the pump last week for the Guzzlers didn't really need to perform, which he didn't. Rick Gold 29, and their fearless leader John Nelson 28. So need to lift for next week. But grand final wise, who have we got?
Sorry, just a quick one, Matt. I actually spoke to Chris Hansen yesterday after their 7-point loss, and he said they were probably the biggest overachieving team of the league. So,
considering they come from 9th,
yes,
it's a good call, Chris.
But Chris, thank you for your honesty. We appreciate it here. Now, Matt, this should be a good final. Rat Pack Guzzlers. I would have picked Guzzlers until we received a newsletter from the future. Matt, do you want to describe this newsletter for us?
Well, it's something that's come across both of our desks, and I think a couple of the players within the GPL. It's titled The People's Voice Guzzlers Gut Rat Pack, and it's a newsletter dated for next Wednesday. And the rumour is, apparently it's been put out by the Guzzlers in preparation for them winning. So possibly got slightly ahead of themselves.
Lid is off very early.
Lid is off massively early. So yeah, well, let's see what the result is next Wednesday and see if this actually hits circulation.
I'd love to see that blow up in their face. I had to say it. Sorry, John. Sorry, boys, but go Rat Pack.
Who would you think would be the elite performers this week for both sides?
I'm going to say Chris Warren from the Guzzlers. They've in this newsletter again. They've put a little bit of salt on Chris to deliver, so I reckon his time will come next week. And for the Rat Pack, Brian Fuge. Former club champion, very, very consistent. I reckon he'll have a little 36 or 37 next week. What about you, Matt?
I think Peter, we noted Peter Gebbett last week in the prelim, and he didn't quite deliver the goods, but I think Peter Gebbett is going to have a blinder this week and actually lead the Rat Pack.
Okay.
For the Guzzlers, Chris Warren will be their highest scorer, probably their best golfer, I think.
Definitely.
And I think you'll have a consistent sort of mid-30s scores.
In the clutch, you reckon? The quality golfer will deliver?
Yep, I think him, Phil and Ed, probably the 3 that'll get the job done for the Guzzlers, and they'll win.
Very good. Just a reminder to all GPL players that next Tuesday for the women is obviously the grand final, so good luck to both the swingers and the hit and miss. For all other teams who aren't in the grand final, you are in the plate competition. So the highest scoring team will win the plate event, and the same goes for the men. So all the other teams besides the Rat Pack and the Guzzlers on the Wednesday, the highest scoring team will win the plate event. So there's still something to play for all those other teams.
Yep.
All the best in the grand final.
All the best to both sides. It should be entertaining, especially after the match.
I'm sure there'll be a fair bit of banter on Tuesday night and on Wednesday night.
Yep.
All the best.